There are two old flint wall buildings along there, the old bakery and the house next to it, and they're the last remnants of the original little settlement in this area called Sea Houses, which was the fishing hamlet. And one thing you will notice though is the amount of shingle we have here, and all this is needed is protection from the sea, because so much of Eastbourne is sea level or below. The only trouble is the drift keeps taking the shingle away. It takes it down to Pemsley Bay, and it's a never-ending job. Big lorries are constantly going down to Pemsley Bay, loading up with shingle, bringing it back here. But we're going to make our way back now. I'm afraid it's into the sun for most of the way. But at least the breeze is behind us, so I hope it's not going to interfere too much. Do you see how many people are out and about though? Nice. They have these interpretive screens here, which tell you all about the kind of things that used to go on in Eastbourne. Rather nice. Nice gentle sound of the sea lapping against the beach. There are no seals in sight today. Yes, I did say seals. We do have harbour seals here. Rather cleverly disguised, ladies and gents. However, many years ago, as I recall, this was actually an aquarium. We went down around the corner here, and that was the entrance to a lovely little aquarium. It was nice. We've now made this the main entrance, so we're around the other side of the readout. Coming up to what I've always known as Splash Point, but I think there may be others who would differ in that opinion. What the hell? Huh? Somebody down on the beach there. This used to be, I'm pretty sure, the Royal Sovereign Yacht Club. And I've done some discos there. I remember doing one night in the middle of a thunderstorm, and the lightning provided a great light show. Some kids mucking around there.
For help. You got a telephone?
I have, but hang on a second. Now you see, I was talking about those kids messing, that I said were messing around, and then the chap comes running along because he'd heard him say, "Shout, help, I can't swim." Now, I knew they were mucking around because I'd heard them, but I was still going to double check as I got round here. And of course, because they were shouting that, he was ready to come and help. I was ready to phone, but when we double checked, they were fine. Just goes to show how easy it would have been for one of us to call the authorities, and it would have been a complete waste of time. Now, out there in the distance, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because I can't really see in the sun, but there is the Royal Sovereign Light Tower. My apologies if you can't see it out there, and you probably can't. I'll try and get a look at it again from another angle later on. That was built in 1971 to replace the old Royal Sovereign Light Tower. And, even that now has been decommissioned because you don't need fog lights or anything, or fog horns or anything anymore with modern day navigation, and so that is due to be deconstructed, rather sadly, but there you go. That's the chicken that walks on the water, I used to call that. Coming along towards the Eastbourne Sailing Club and the Sea Cadets now. Must be pushing on towards 5:45, 10 to 6, and look how many people I've encountered already. There's Treasure Island. Look in there. You got a good day. I don't know, I hesitate to use the word normal because I'm not sure that after this we will ever get back to what we knew as normal. But in times past, let's put it that way, you wouldn't be able to move in Treasure Island. Talk about social distancing, complete strangers sat on people's laps. It was that busy. Harrow Jim lad, look at this pirate ship. And here's all the yachts. And the yacht club, sailing club. My guess would be that with that swell, there's not going to be too much sailing today. And I think we've got something coming. A bit of a squall later on. You could almost feel it. You could see it in the clouds. Annual Association. Morning. Looks like we might get a bit of a squall later.
I think the wind's meant to drop off. I don't think it's meant to get any worse than this now, so we shall see.
Yeah, I was just looking at that and the clouds. It gives you that kind of
Yeah, it does, yeah.
feeling that something's brewing. But we might avoid it.
Touch wood.
See. Yeah.
That's when it's dropping out.
Were you off to sail if it is?
Yeah, I'm going to try and take the boat out if I can.
You're right for a little while anyway, I think, weren't you?
Yeah, it is meant to drop out, but you never know with the weather. It always changes.
Not here, we have our own, don't we?
Yeah, exactly that.
Anyway, good luck, enjoy yourself. And there's the old Sea Cadet building. And somebody else without dogs on a lead. I hate that. That's the one with the dogs that just dropped their black bag full of dog's mess. What is the point of doing all that if you're not going to take it home with you? Anyhow, it's not even 6 o'clock in the morning and I've had a conversation already. Would you credit it? Anyway, here we are on Fisherman's Green. I don't know if there ever was a green here. Certainly before my time, this has always been car park and tennis courts. But we just walked past the rowing club, and now if you want to buy your fresh fish, this is the place you come. Nice lobster, in you go. I'm not sure, but I did hear that the original Alcorn boats, or at least one of them, is in that building being restored. And ooh, I think there's one of them there on the beach. Let's go and have a look, shall we? There's nothing to stop us. I don't know if that's the one that's due to be restored, but that certainly looks like one of the old Alcorn boats to me. I remember my youngest daughter Jane, one of her very first school trips that she went on when she was infant school, I think, just top end of infants, and they went on a trip on one of the Alcorn boats round the Beachy Head Lighthouse, and her essay began something like, we went for a trip and we went round the lighthouse and there were ladies and gents toilets on the boat. Now, here's the, you saw in a previous video the original Eastbourne lifeboat house. It was then replaced by this one, which I think now houses the inshore lifeboat. The current day one is down at the harbour, which will be the subject of another walk later. But here we have an old lifeboat. I guess that's come to be restored by some trust or other. Certainly interesting to compare the designs of the various lifeboats over the years. That's something a little more modern here. Fisherman's huts. Fishy smell, you see the lobster pots up there. Loads of them. This used to be the main fishing station, and then boats all went down the new harbour with more secure berth there. Didn't have to bother about dragging the boat back up onto the beach, you just berthed alongside the harbour wall, tied up. Easy, when you know how. Oh look, we're back where we started. Now, I'm going to take you back prior to 1969 now, because although there was a tiny little road that went along here, hang on a second, somebody coming. I am actually standing where Claude Lane's modern electric tramways used to have their terminus, right on this very spot. And in old photographs you can see, although that's a new building now, but there's always been a building there for sailing, that kind of thing. And he was given notice in 1969 to quit. And had to move all his stuff to Seaton in Devon in 36 trips. I think Eastbourne might be regretting that decision, given the amount of money the tramway brings to Seaton. Eastbourne had always been fiercely opposed to electric traction for some reason, and my understanding is the only reason he was allowed to build his tramway here was because he agreed that Eastbourne Corporation bus inspectors could board his tram and check the tickets at any time without notice. And then he upset the council. And again, it's hearsay. As I understand it, he wanted to build a permanent fixed tram shed and workshops out on the crumbles here. Because you have to bear in mind that All of the land I'm walking on now and what we see ahead of us at that time was part of a huge area of shingle known as the Crumbles. And they said, no, you can't do it. So what he did overnight, he built a tram shed, but he built it with corrugated iron roof and sides and what have you, because under the Tramways Act, it wasn't illegal to build that kind of structure. And I think that was probably the tipping point, and the council said, all right, we've had enough of this. We want to build a road along there anyway, no negotiation, out. And that was it. That boatman reckons the weather's going to change, but I think we got a squall coming with that cloud. Morning. Nice morning for a walk.
Yeah, it is.
Now, I'm standing here overlooking Prince's Park. I'm not going to go in there because I've got a phobia about birds, and there's rather a lot of swans and everything in there this time of day. But you can see it covers quite a large area. They took out a lovely set of gardens there and put that monstrosity, I have no idea what it's meant to be, some kind of entertainment area. I think it looks right out of place. Behind the boathouse is the boating lake, and then you have an area at the other end where they bring the fun fairs and everything in. That whole area of land was known as Gilbert's Recreation Ground at one time. The council leased it in 1907, and then in 1931 it was officially opened as a council park by Edward VIII, Prince of Wales as he was then. Later became known as the king who abdicated. And part of the ground, you can probably just see the tops of the spotlights in the distance, is now the Oval Recreation Ground. Here's a piece of industrial archaeology. Damn sun. But where are we? Let's see if we can get to it. I've got a marker. There you see that blue skeletal structure in the distance. Hold straight and steady. There it is. That's one of the old gas holders from the time when our gas was made from coke, and that was the site of the Thames Gas Works. Damn smelly stuff that was. Oh. I think I was 16 when we suddenly discovered this wonderful thing called natural gas, and the whole of the country was converted to burn this wonderful new clean fuel. Didn't have a smell, but it would, so it had a smell added to it, which was a lot better than the previous stuff, I can tell you. But enough, my great uncle Cecil, I don't know whether he was pulling my leg or not, but he used to work at the gasworks in Bexhill, and he was saying they used to have a facility there where people with certain types of diseases, pulmonary diseases I guess, the doctor would write a prescription, and he would, part of his job was to take these people around certain parts of the gasworks because it supposedly helped them with their breathing. You can see we've just passed this row of brightly coloured beach huts. Now, Claude Lane's trams used to go across what is now the road there. After there was a little passing loop over there where you see that building. That was the ticket office for the miniature golf and the putting green that was there at the time, long since disused. And then he used to go along the road. There was a big hedge there at the time, and he used to cut through a hole in the hedge and then down to where the roundabout is, which not sure that I'm going to go down to. Let's get out of the way of the cyclist. Thank you. Alright. This is a shared way between cycles and pedestrians, so you've got to be a bit careful. You can almost feel that weather turning. All of a sudden there's a chill, but there's a good opportunity to, oh yes, there we go. Let's zoom in on the pier. Actually, let's give myself a better grip. Start again, there we are. Right the way along there you can see South Cliff Tower at the foot of the downs, coming down to Holywell. And again, there's the pier quite clearly. There. Now I'll get off the cycle lane. Morning.
Morning.
I think they were rather reluctant to say good morning. Anyhow, I just wanted to come far enough up here because basically this is the end of Royal Parade. I think there's a pathway I can go down there, just to see the building in the corner there. Past these flats. That's the swimming pool, the Sovereign Centre. That was opened in 1977, the same year as the District General Hospital by Princess Anne. This big block of flats here, Monarch House, was a damn good idea at the time, and they came in for a lot of flack. Unfortunately, the Liberal Council at the time decided that one way to finance the building of the Sovereign Centre would be to build a block of flats next to it, and because they could command a premium price, it should bring in enough money to finance the building of the Sovereign Centre. Unfortunately, timing wasn't brilliant, and it coincided with a bit of a property crash. And, quite a lot of debt was obviously involved. Not sure what happened in the end. I think the flats were sold off to a developer for much less than the original asking prices were, and of course over the years, although it's probably free of its debt now, Sovereign Centre has had to raise the money to pay off the difference. And here we are, back on the seafront, the Royal Parade. I don't think those are original trolley poles from the tramway, but you never know. But it would have gone through probably a gap in the hedge just over there, and then turned right across the middle of what is now the roundabout and along part of what is known as Prince William Parade, which is the final of the parades in Eastbourne, and that particular area will be the subject of another walk when I get another nice day to get up in the morning. I will just have a general view as I walk back along here. This is a very popular place, sport fun, with a little indoor soft play area. But you do wonder, with the lockdown and everything else, whether places like this will ever be able to afford to open up again. It's your start-up costs. It's all very well saying yes, you can open again, but when you've literally had every penny took away from you, say right, you can open again, but you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do the other, all of this. You know, that's many thousands of pounds to spend before you can even open for business, and then you can only take in a quarter of your normal. To me, the sums don't add up, and I think there's going to be big problems. But we shall see. Anyway, that's another walk over, and thank you to all those who watch my videos on YouTube. Like I said, totally amateur. I ain't into making any money. But many of you looked at my railway one last week. Thank you for doing that. But, hope you'll come and visit the railway when we're hopefully up and running again. Anyway, bye for now. Bye bye. The one that we were just on has just gone, but I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's doing a relief, I expect. Yeah, that's plenty of room.